Yesterday was, I guess, the National Day Against Homophobia, and we both decided to make videos today, and we discussed via text this morning, like, what we could discuss and talk about, and one of the ideas we came up with was our own experiences. So I know I'm going to talk a little bit about that. When I was in high school and I really had a hard time because, you know, my family is kind of conservative. My dad is a deacon in the Catholic Church, which makes everything more difficult. But, they've come to accept it now. But in the beginning it was hard. When I first came out, they said, you know, I was too young to know, and it never really went away. That was freshman year. And it never really went away. It just got stronger, and in the beginning I was saying it was bi, and then I realized that I didn't really, like, I was still going out with guys, but it wasn't really doing much for me. And then I had relationships with girls, and I really liked that, so it kind of determined that for me, and it was really hard. Like, on the freshman year, it was really hard. The hardest, probably, was when I played softball, because I told a girl that I was close to, and I really trusted, and it somehow got to my entire team, and they didn't want to change around me in the locker room. Like, I would look at them, and they would start doing things like after practices or after games, and they'd talk about it in front of me, but they would never invite me. And that, you know, it sounds really stupid, but it really hurts when you talk about it. And they would make comments, and they were really kind of brutal to me at times. Some of the girls, I'm not going to say it was every single girl, but a lot of them. And I didn't play softball after that because I didn't want to deal with them, and I didn't want to deal with any of that. And I mean, my best friend Jessie, she is a saint because she got a lot of shit because of me. Like, we were best friends, and we were really close like that. We were inseparable. You know, we were always together. We always hang out every weekend, you know, all the time. And she's straight, but because of me, a lot of people thought that she was my girlfriend, and she had to deal with a lot because of me, and she never minded. But she even told me that it was nice when she went away for the first years of college because she didn't have people that knew her and me as best friends or suspected that we would be more than that. Like, she actually was able to have her own little life for a little bit. And she's back now, and, you know, it doesn't bother her. She's always been there for me. She was my biggest support, even through the whole softball thing, through everything. She was my main support system back then. She even wrote a poem about me before I came out, like, in terms of from her point of view to my parents, and she was my biggest support. Freshman year was the hardest year. I wasn't even comfortable then, and I came out, and it was really hard, especially with the softball thing and everything, for me, because all of that really affected me, and it had an effect on how I viewed myself. And as I got older, it got easier, and I started to, you know, ignore the people that reacted negatively, or try to at least, and then deal with the positives, and it helps. And then, you know, I had my senior year, and this leads into how actually TC and I met. I was in theater arts class, which was one of my favorite classes senior year. I had the same teacher for theater arts and creative writing, and those were my two favorite classes senior year. Creative writing was really fun because we got to do a lot of really fun activities and stuff, and that's actually one of the reasons I want to be an English teacher, because I would really love to teach a creative writing class and give to my students what my teacher gave to me. But that's besides the point. I was talking about theater arts class, and there was a girl in my theater arts class, Ariel. And we didn't really talk a lot of the year, but towards the end of the year we had to do, you know, for a final we had to pick a monologue, a dialogue, or a short, like, 10-minute play to do. And Jessie, Ariel, and her best friend Rose, and then me, we did this 10-minute play, and so we had to spend a lot of time together. We worked really hard on this scene, and in it, you know, we spent time at each other's houses. You know, we went out and we did things, and we really got to know each other, and I was really open by then about being gay, and it was really interesting to me because by the end of that year, Ariel came up to me and she started asking me for advice, and to me, that is probably when you really know you're comfortable, when people start asking you for advice because they're in the stage that you were in when you were younger. And that brought us together and led into us dating, which is how I ended up meeting Carrie at the Harry Potter midnight book release, because I went with Ariel and he came with Ariel, and you know, it was really fun, and I am glad that that happened. And you know, it's interesting to see how it evolves, because freshman year I struggled, and then senior year I was being asked for advice, and now I'm just, you know, I'm who I am, and I can't really be open about it at work, but I can be open about it elsewhere, and it's really cool. And that was important. And I went to my first Pride event with TC, and it was really cool. Like, we went to Asbury Park Pride, and that was the first time I'd been to any of that, and it's really nice when you go to these things, because you're just surrounded by a community, and it's really nice because you can be open, everybody understands, everybody's been in your shoes at some point, and you have a wide variety of people. Like, I know in Asbury Pride, it's a lot of, like, festival, there's a lot of, you know, stalls and shops, and then there's a concert, and it's by the beach, and you can go on the beach, and you're just surrounded by people of all different ages. You know, there's families there, there's, you know, younger, you know, kids, there's anybody from, you know, TC's age and younger to my age, to all the way up to adults that have kids. And you know, it's really nice to see that, and it's a really, really relieving experience, because it kind of makes you see that, you know, it's okay. And so it's like, you really get a wide range. You know, in the beginning it's always going to be hard, and even as adults, even now, like, there's still times that it's really hard, because you have to hold your tongue sometimes, even though you don't want to, because of the homophobia, and because of how people may react. You don't know what's going to happen, and it's scary, but it is okay in the end. And I really hope, I know we've had this discussion, that when I'm a teacher, I can, you know, help kids like me that need that, you know, boost, that help, and that, and everything. And I can see, you know, Carrie even said, maybe when or TC even said, when I'm a teacher, maybe I can be the supervisor of the GSA at the school, and that would be really cool for me, because I would want to help those kids and be able to share my experiences and give advice and help as much as I can, since I've been there. And so that's another thing that I really wish and hope is going, because GSAs are really good things, and they're really helpful to students, you know, like me and TC, who really needed that and need that. And I didn't get that in my high school. We didn't have one. I didn't deal with that until college, when I joined the one at college, and I'm not even part of that anymore, because I don't really have the time between work and classes at this point. And I don't know, it's just, I don't have the time anymore. But I'm really rambling, so I'm going to cut this off. But I love you, TC, and I'm going to look forward to seeing your video tonight too. And I miss you, and I love you, heart. And that's it.